So,
yeah, they do.
okay, so if that being said, we're gonna be done talking about the Torah portion for now, and we're gonna let Hosea came all the way up here with his crew.
Rolling deep.
With his crew.
We got a word for us. We got some things he wants to show. I'm gonna move over and let Hosea do that. I'm gonna move out the way.
Yeah, everybody can stretch your legs for a minute.
Hey, Ari. All right.
Get into some good stuff.
Yep.
Check my spelling, all right?
I got some.
Oh,
You want one?
Subject?
I got some. I'm good.
Yeah, it's
Good.
That wasn't a word I wanted to check
All
the
right.
spelling on. Right. Well, if it was that bad, I didn't even go further. Like, just stop right there. All right. If it's that bad, I'm like, okay, I can use the subject. You know, I want to check spelling and everything.
Do you want one? You want one more?
I just dog.
Oh, thank you.
Did you want one? No, thank you. Yeah. Probably should come.
Whoa.
You're crying out, girl. You're crying out again.
You feel like they glued that on there. It's on your tight. What's the point? Did y'all have very much snow last week?
This week, like earlier in the week, Monday or Tuesday, one of those days.
So weather's about the same, because we had it the first of the week. Now it's going up in the 40s. One day next week it's going to be in the 50s.
Fun exercises to everybody get back. We'll do some fun exercises. Hey, everybody out there in the internet world, I'm Hosea from House of Israel, Ohio. Thank you for allowing me to have the opportunity to participate and direct the COD's live broadcast every week faithfully. We're gonna go over some things that's related to the season. So let's start with let's do some fun exercise. Let's do some exercise. If it was raining outside, it was raining a whole lot, how would you feel? How do you feel when it rains a lot outside? Your feelings.
Restricted.
Please chime in. I want to hear what you guys got out there. Even in the chat. What do you say? If it's raining a whole lot, it's a whole lot of rain. It's raining a lot. You feel restricted. All right, we got restricted.
I get sleepy.
Sleepy?
Yeah,
We'll go with it.
I do.
So it's raining a whole lot. How do you feel? How do you feel when it's raining a whole lot?
Some people be depressed. Some people
Some depressed. All right.
I like rain.
You got to back up on this marker. Rain. You got to back up on this. If I leave the cap off.
Yeah, I got all kinds of
I would say unmotivated.
Unmotivated.
Oh yeah.
No.
I feel relaxed.
Yeah.
Relax if it's raining a whole lot. All right, relax.
You can just try to change the answer.
You relax and I go to sleep.
No, I did not. Hey, that's what she said.
Or a whole lot of rain.
A whole lot of rain. It's raining a whole lot. What else we got?
It makes me feel like I have to be still because it's a little overwhelming.
Be still.
Somebody said, "Are we in it or in the house?"
Doesn't matter. You could be Dr. Seuss standing inside, looking outside looking outside and looking at the rain, or you could be in the rain.
Someone said, "Wet if I'm in it." That's Sister Sarah.
Wet.
Wet.
Yeah,
if you're
wet.
in it, you feel wet. Okay, that's right. Okay, we'll go with that. Wet if you're in it. If standing in it.
Nope, it's raining.
Damn it. All right, cool. What else we got? Any other feelings that you have?
If it's a thunderstorm, you could feel scared.
Scared.
Right.
So you was which one were you before?
She was relaxed.
You was relaxed and now you scared.
It depends.
Is it a thunderstorm though? Or is it just rain? It's just rain, Samantha.
Okay, so you can.
Someone said cautious.
Cautious. Very good.
Oh, okay.
Cautious. C-A-U-T-I-O-U-S. Cautious. All right. Men, did you have anything?
I actually got directed, but that's
Directed.
Yeah.
Directed.
yeah, I have inside work and outside work. If it's raining, I'm staying inside. It doesn't affect all.
You know what you got to do now.
I know what I have to do. I don't have a choice
All right.
unless I'm gonna pray and wash the
I
heaven.
think I agree with restricted.
Restricted.
It's kind of the same thing.
I would say reflective.
Reflective. Reflective.
Oh my goodness.
So let's go to Proverbs chapter 28. Excuse me, Proverbs chapter 27. Twenty-seven, 15. Read that nice and loud for us.
Right. It reads, a continual dropping in a very rainy day and a contentious woman are alike.
So a contentious woman makes me feel sleepy.
No.
You're exhausted from the argument.
Come on.
Yes, it's
Come on.
All right,
You
that's
do.
there you
No.
go. Don't be exhausted.
You get exhausted?
I think the answer that I agree with still works.
Right. Restricted.
Restricted.
So let me answer the
Who
question.
said that? Who said
That was your wife, I think. No, that was Leah.
No, I was be still.
You was
She was
restricted. She was restricted. All right.
I said restricted.
You said restricted. We got 2, 3 restricted. Contentious is argumentative.
Whoa.
To argue, just to argue. Disagree to disagree.
Getting on my nerves.
Oh, mine definitely.
Annoying. That's it. Annoying.
Right. So he said, hey, because I see a contentious woman, I already know to go the other way. I ain't even do it. I'm motivated. Yeah, it sucks the motivation. It sucks the life out of you. It sucks the motivation out of anything that contentious woman comes into. The environment, the house, the home, the place, the time, work, It will suck the motivation out of it. Of course, you could feel relaxed around a contentious woman if you was raised in a contentious environment. Now I feel like home because that sounds like the way mommy taught me.
Yeah.
That's the way mommy taught that. You know? And if you weren't in that environment and you were afraid of women, you could be scared. And wet, we're just gonna throw that one out for now.
Thank you.
Well, if you're wet, you're heavy.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
There we
heavy.
go. Thank you. Moreh,
Heavy.
save the day. Wet is heavy.
Wet is heavy.
Wet is heavy. There we go.
Especially when on jeans.
Someone said bombarded.
Bombarded. Yeah. Bombarded. I'll throw you.
You want to say that? That's fine.
I'm looking at somebody. Somebody made that spelling.
Don't get me started. No.
B-A-R-D. Okay, here you go.
We know what you mean.
All right, so that was a fun exercise. So what we're going to talk about today is idolatry. And of course, it's not the idolatry of making objects, making images. This is a different type of idolatry. We're actually going to be talking about self-idolatry. Okay. The areas of opportunity on this subject is going to be how to have healthy mastery, how to eliminate that unhealthy control through manipulation and domination. The answer is willingness to allow father to have his position back in submission, and that's the authority. So we're talking about control. We're talking about control. So you gotta turn off your movies. You gotta turn off the movie. You gotta turn off the picture set. You gotta turn off the. He's not talking about me. Oh, I know a man who has an issue with control. All right. So we got 3, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 people in this room. Now, out of everyone here, turn off your pictures. Don't think about anybody else. Think about yourself. How many people here have an issue with control?
My hand is all the way.
Controlling, being a controller. Being a controller. So with that being said, we have out of the 13 people, guys, out there in TV land, we have out of the 13 people, we have 11 honest and 2 liars. There's only 2 people that not raise their hands. So we have 11 honest people and 2 liars. So let me say this: how many people have an issue with lying? And those would be the only 2 people that did not raise their hands. Because ultimately, we all have an issue with controlling. It's mastery. Everybody wants to master individuals. So let's deal with it real quick. How is
mastering other people?
Mastering everything, controlling the situation, controlling my class, control.
I have an issue.
I know. I'm trying to talk to you. You're stepping on my words. Seriously, it's funny. All right, so we control through manipulation and domination. Men will be domination, women will be manipulation. Men, it can be manipulation, and women, it can be domination.
Yeah.
But from a more common perspective, it's going to be more men with domination, fear, and strength. Women's going to be through emotions, manipulation. So we control people, time, place, things because of fear, because of worry, and because of insecurity. So there's my word for the week. Man, I got this word. We're dealing with we're still dealing with the trust thing on the team model. All right. We use Patrick Lencioni's model of team, which consists of trust, conflict, and three other steps. But we're at trust and conflict. We're trying to cross over into conflict. And so I was at work, and there was a guy who was doing our job, but he wasn't doing it the way the bosses like him to do the job. So the job was getting done. But it wasn't the way the bosses like to get the job. And I'm on the side of the boss, and I think it should be done the way the boss wants the job done. Even though the job is getting done, it wasn't the way the bosses wants to see it get done. And so I thought to myself, is he playing team? Is he a team player? Can I trust him? And then my next thought was, it was like a major prick. I just had to breathe. And so this is what you guys got to get. If y'all get this, y'all will be the winners for the day. I mean, we could actually pack our books up and go home and be done. You just got to get this one thought in your mind. You got to say this to yourself. Don't think about other people. Think about yourself. I'm thinking about HOIO. Don't think about anyone else but yourself. Is control my determining factor for trust?
Control my determining factor.
So
If I can't control you, I don't trust you.
Is control my determining factor for trust? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
For trust.
if I can't control the situation, I can't.
Trust the situation. If I can't control, like here's a good example. I like dogs because dogs actually have a method of training and how they are to be trained. You can put a leash on them. You can train them. Cats, they can love you today, hate you tomorrow. There is no method to train them so you can establish trust.
Right.
But am I saying train or am I saying control?
Control. And the cat said no.
And because I can't trust you, because I can't control you, I have a fear. Oh, we got to come back to you. Yeah, look, because I come back to you. I don't want to lose you. Because I have a fear.
Can't trust you.
Because I have a fear of my insecurities and my lack of trust. I have to control you or the situation or people or things around me. I have to control everything in order to my fear. And now I can trust you. If you're where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do, and do exactly what I say to do, hey, I trust you.
Well, more than that, you're saying do it how I said to do it too, not just do it I told you, but how I said to do it. Because the guy was doing the job,
He was
but he
getting the
wasn't
job
doing it
done.
how he wanted it
He
done.
wasn't doing it the way how I thought the boss wanted to do
but he was
it.
still doing the job.
But he was still doing the
So
job.
do it. That's right. Yeah, another layer.
Yes, I felt the same way when I heard it.
Yeah.
Because I thought to myself, is that why I don't like cats? Is that why, so I start now, I want you guys to do the same reflection I did. All the people in your life you trust. Now think about why you trust them.
Well, I already know I'm a control freak, so I'm out the picture.
Then I think about all the people you don't trust and why you don't trust them.
Oh,
You know how many people you
I
don't
don't have
trust?
too many people I trust.
See,
someone under there.
where's where I got it from?
It's all good.
Someone else said, but also we are not designed to control everything. That would be stressful.
Yeah, that's the point.
We still try.
We still try, right? Let's go all the way back to the garden. Adam was created for mastery and domination to have dominion on the earth. Well, you know what? We can make this a lot bit easier and more simpler if I had a little bit more wisdom. So if I eat of this fruit, then I can make my job easier. I control the situation. All right. So the word that I use for control is shlita. Shlita. That's SHILTAH.
Say it one more time.
I'm gonna put it on the board. Shlita.
Oh.
79. Maybe 79, 80. Yeah, right. You had that face. What was the face for?
If I don't the trust it, I was trying to apply to me. You said think of yourself, and I have where you have 100% trust until opposite. Like you don't have to gain my trust, you have it, and then it goes the other way around, backwards. So I was thinking like, okay, if I do it backwards, how I don't have a problem with the trust until they did something. And so like with that work, I have some people that I know that they're not going to be on time, so I do adjust accordingly because they have shown it. But I trust everyone else too because they've done it right. So I'm trying to, for me, work it backwards.
Yeah, because they have betrayed your trust, you then try to control the situation by adjusting your time.
Yeah.
All right. To rule over, to have mastery over another. And so, does anyone see the idolatry in that? Who does anyone see the idolatry? Let's go to Exodus chapter 20. We'll look at some scriptures. Exodus chapter 20. All right. And Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh Elohecha, which brought thee out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the house of bondage. You shall not have no other Els, mighty ones, before me. So that's the first command. Have no other Els or mighty ones before me. I'm sovereign. Watch this. Everyone breathe, because this is going to be a dirty word. This is going to be a very dirty word. This is worse than gayness.
That's a good word.
I don't even know what that means.
You know it.
That's all.
You know exactly.
You know exactly what it means. I don't know what it means. All right. He is in control.
Absolutely.
Now, for a controller, watch. Can I trust you? I can't see you. Can I trust you? I can't see you. I can't control you. Can I trust you?
That's right.
I mean, I got the example.
How that settles in your spirit, that's idolatry. And so when we're talking about faith is established on trust, but yet I can't see you, how am I supposed to trust you? And I can't control you. If you choose to take everything I have away from me, is right, is righteous, and it's just, and I can't stop you from doing it.
I never thought about controlling him.
Do I still trust
That's good.
Some people keep the Torah and apply commands in their life because they want to control the outcome.
Yep.
They don't do it because of the spirit of the Torah. They don't do it because of why we're supposed to be doing what we're doing, which is what I'm supposed to be putting up here. I said I'm not going to forget that, and that's the one thing I forgot. But why we do what we do. Matthew chapter 25, go there. The why. No, I don't want to hit you too much. Just trying to get through it. Matthew 25. I want to go all the way down to the unprofitable servant. I just want to pull this point out, the why. And I kind of rehash that over and over again because we kind of forget why we do what we do.
Say the verse.
You gotta look. You might need your lamb skin.
Goat.
That's goat skin. I apologize. The real deal. I want to scroll all the way down to the unprofitable servant. And this is I'm only bringing this up because I want to really elaborate the why before we move forward. What we do. Why do we do what we do? Why?
We're casting out. Did you want to start at the
LM says trusting Yah regardless is the key. Yep. Where you got it?
I got the beginning of 14. That's where it started.
I want to go all the way down where he gives the big unprofitable rebuke.
And cast be not unprofitable servant into outer darkness.
Yeah, that one. 30. So, why don't you start a couple of verses above that? Because
All right. Let's see. Let's start at 24. Then he who had received the 1 talent came and said, Master, I knew thee that thou was a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not straw. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast what is yours. His master answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant.
so fear now can control the situation. God, you going.
Fear.
Fear, got you.
His master answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant. Thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not straw. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that has shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of
Okay,
teeth.
so we do what we do for profit. All right, we got to establish that we do what we do for profit. We're working for a master that wants a profit.
Mm-hmm.
We may not like that, but we're servants to a master who wants a profit.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not ready to present a profit or able to present a profit, and the master comes, what is the master's attitude towards the unprofitable? So we already said we're servants, right? We're all servants,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we got to present a profit to the master. And if when the master comes, he says, "What is your profit?" We got to hand him a profit. Period. This is what I did with however many years he gave me on this earth. And is tomorrow promised? I think tomorrow is tomorrow. I thought the scripture said tomorrow is promised. No, the scripture said tomorrow is not promised. And so when do I have to start producing this profit? Now watch this. Here's a revelation I got in the van. In the van. Well, not when I was stuck in your snow. No. Only thing was coming out then were not happy thoughts. Pittsburgh. No, I was in the van and it hit me like this. What season are we in, guys? Winter. All right, so we know the answer is a willingness to allow Father to have his position back through submission. And so this is a season when we need to have submission.
Right.
All right. So in order for me to maximize my ability to be profitable, I said too fast. In order to maximize your ability to be profitable in this season, you need to get all of the heavy rain as possible. That's not going to happen unless we come to a place of submission. But I can't come to a place of submission because I'm constantly trying to control, watch this, my environment. You are a seed in the earth, in the ground, that people think is dead. You're covered in snow. No one knows what's going on down there.
Right.
And here you are trying to control what Father's trying to do in your life.
Oh, well. My goodness.
We have to, right now, critically, get to a place of submission and allow him to do what he has to do right now in this season and stop trying to control the situation.
Wow.
Good with that?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to breathe it. That's what I'm trying to let's just breathe through it.
It's a lot.
It is. It's heavy. It is heavy. And that's why when I was at work, I was just like, that is so neat.
Yeah.
That is so neat. My watch. And we could go through different ways that we use that people can control. We could go through that. We could use examples like emotion. You know, my kids always just say to my they would say to each other, like, my daughter would start crying, and my oldest daughter would say, you might as well stop, it don't work.
It
don't work.
It don't work on
Yeah,
me.
he don't care.
That is not the card to play
No.
on me.
No, he don't care.
Tears is not gonna.
Neither.
Rivka, you know, right? It's like,
Yes, I do. Yeah,
okay. That's not the card.
no, you're not good enough.
You put some money on the table. You might be warming up to my heart. What are you talking now? How much you talking? So money is another one. Materialism, emotions. You control through, of course, threats. You know, ultimatums, guilt, shame, contention.
Yeah.
I'm be contentious just so I can control the environment.
Yeah.
I want you to feel all the things we had listed on the board. So we got fear, worry. We already know the scripture for worry, right? Matthew chapter 6. We don't need to go there. All right. We got fear, worry, and insecurity.
No, go there.
Go where?
Matthew chapter 6.
Okay.
Where is it?
Fabian can quote it from the top of his heart. It's such a common scripture. Can't you? No. Matthew chapter 6, where it says, why you worry about the he said, look at the lilies of the valley.
Yeah.
I can't.
They say-
But there's something else in Matthew chapter 6.
Bro, you know?
There's something else in Matthew chapter 6.
That's the Lord's Prayer in there. That's what that's
25 maybe? We'll start to talk.
Possessions and masters.
28. Go ahead.
Well, it's a collection of verses.
Oh, you want to summarize it?
I'll just read 25. Because of this, I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you shall eat or drink, or about your body, what you shall put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing?
Okay, so good. So is life more than just body, clothing, and the things that were tangible, carnality? Now, what does 24 say? Take a wild guess.
No one can serve two masters.
Hold on. So the preface before worrying is who is your master.
Yeah. Pick and choose.
Yeah.
No one
So the
can serve
preface
two.
for the
Give
worry
me a them. Yeah.
is who is your master,
Yeah.
Right.
right? The first commandment is who is your master.
Right.
Yerevahe.
Yeah. No other.
So watch. When I step into Yaron's life and I say, this is what you should do, this is what you're going to do, and I use my position of leadership or friendship or emotion, I now take the place of Elohim and I become his new master.
Okay.
Because I want to control.
Okay.
But watch, what does the text say in the Exodus chapter 20? He says, you shall not put a sovereign above me.
Right.
You should not put no one above me.
Right.
But then we all miss this house full of controllers besides these two. Get a house full of controllers. And we
That's
all
what
want to
you got.
go and put ourselves above everyone else.
Right.
You know how hard it is for me to be at work and watch someone do stuff outside of what the boss says to do, and me to say, I am not going to tell him what he's supposed to be doing. Because I want to go over and say, you're not supposed to be doing that. What the boss wants you to do is X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Because I want to control
Yeah.
the whole environment.
Right.
And it's humbling.
Yes.
It's so humbling. Because it's not my place.
So that's where submission comes in. You can even feel it in the back of your throat that you want to say somebody so bad, but then you can feel it coming over you. And that's where the submission comes in when it's right here. You have to step back. I've been there. I feel you.
I know, just these two, they don't know what it's like.
I understand.
His problem is he has to deal with the controller. I'm the one that has to deal with the controller.
Yeah.
All right, so we use the Torah not because we trust Father. We use the Torah to kind of control our lives. I came into the movement because I believe that we suffer from the curses. To break the curses, I'm gonna do these commandments, and I'm gonna do exactly what it says. Ezekiel 18 says, if I do these commandments, I will live and not die. I want to live the curse breaking ritual. So I'm not really about bringing a profit to the new master. I'm really about making my life better. I'm being really more selfish about it. Right?
That's not your motive. You want him to bless you.
Come on, your motive is to get a blessing. Then you keep the Torah for 2 months. You're like, hey, this magic wand, this magic trick didn't work. I've been in the Torah for a whole year now, and I ain't nothing changed. How has your heart changed? Have you even went back to why you're in this?
Right.
Well, let's deal with. I got 2 more paragraphs. Let's deal with this word propensity. Propensity. It's your natural inclination or tendency. Propensity.
Your natural what?
Your natural inclination or tendency.
Natural.
All right, ready? Propensity, a natural inclination or tendency. In our attempt to control our propensity to sin, the adversary uses that as a window to bring us into an unhealthy spirit of control. In my attempt to control my propensity to sin, the adversary uses it as a window to bring us into unhealthy spirit of control. You say, well, what is that? Well, that's a religious spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That's an unhealthy spirit of control. What do you mean your tassels are only 3 inches long? Your tassels gotta be 7 inches long. What do you mean you only get the Shabbat from this time to that time? What do you mean? That's a religious spirit. It has to be this way, that way, this way. It's all or nothing. Watch. The unprofitable servant in Matthew chapter 25, he says, you know what? I knew that you was stern. I knew that you, and I was fearful. So I did nothing. He had a religious spirit.
Yeah.
It's either I'm going to do it all or I'm going to do nothing. And Father says, so come on, you telling me you could have did something? He said, I will even accept, he said, I would have accepted the least. Come on, I had a religious spirit come on me so heavy this week. I was like, hey, like only thing we're doing for the kingdom is these postcards and, you know, sending out these 1,000 postcards. Like, what is that? You know, that's like a drop in the bucket. That ain't nothing. Like, why even do it? We don't even know if it's gonna work. Like, why are you even doing it? That's a religious spirit saying nothing.
Don't do black or white. Black, white.
All
or nothing.
Or nothing.
That's right.
Either gonna save the whole world
or nobody.
or nobody. And we're not called to save the whole world. Now you done took the place of Yeshua himself. Because that's not even your assignment. Every time I hear Hebrews be talking about, oh, we taking over the world. You're not taking over the world. You're not taking over anything. You're not changing anything. This thing is not gonna get changed till he returns and changed it. That's it. He's the changer. You stop that thinking to yourself, I'm God. I'm bringing the heat. You're not doing anything.
We're not.
Stop. Just stop. You're blaming yourself. That's a religious spirit. You want to feel like you're in control. You want to feel like you're actually being effective in the kingdom. But the only proof of your effectiveness is profit.
It's annoying.
Sorry.
All right, here we go. For those who want some scriptures on whether we have a propensity for sin, Numbers 15:30-39 says, in the heart and in your eyes is an inclination for whoredom.
Oh, wow. What was the first number? 15.
Numbers 15:39. He said, in your heart and in your eyes, all you want to do is be a whore.
Oh.
James 1:13-14 says, you ain't tempted with evil by Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. You're tempted by evil by what? Whose lust? Whose lust is it? It's your own lust. Where'd that come from? You.
James what?
1:13 through 14.
Thank you.
And so I know, the religious spirit rises up in me like, so I'm doing the Torah so I don't have the propensity to sin. That's why I wash my hands and that's why I keep the commands so I don't have the propensity to sin. But what should I do? Just go ahead and just let it go loose and sin? Well, no. The problem isn't the fact that you're trying to use the Torah to beat your propensity for sin. The problem is that you have not been transformed. You're trying to use the Torah to reform yourself, and you need to use Yeshua to transform yourself.
Right. Come on.
Part of the Torah portion that you have is 1 Corinthians chapter 5. You're a new creature. You haven't become a new creature yet. You're still fighting a natural inclination. The problem is your natural inclination needs to be a new natural. Your new natural inclination should be the Torah. And it should be strange when sin approaches. When you're tempted with sin, you should be like, what is that? I don't even know what gayness is. You should be like, I know what gayness is. I'm all familiar with gayness. I'm like, no, I don't know what gayness is. Gayness is strange to me. All I know is straightness. But watch. Hosea's 8 says, we look at the Torah and we call the Torah strange. But we're supposed to look at uncleanness and call it strange. Like, it's strange for you to cut down a tree, bring it into your house, take the lights out your house, put them outside. That's strange.
That's strange.
That is very strange. You can't even plant a tree in your home. Why?
You got a dead tree.
That makes sense. It should be strange. All right. So your natural desire needs to be for righteousness. This is coming out of Ezekiel 36. Yeah, there you go. 36. I will sprinkle you with clean water and cause you to leave your abominations, your uncleanness and your filthiness, and you shall have a heart of flesh. I'll take out that heart of stone, right? Ezekiel 36. Okay, that's right. Right?
Oh.
Starts with 2:5.
Oh, you had a comment? Go ahead.
Jolene says treat sin like burnt popcorn in a small room.
Treat sin like a burnt pop, like burnt popcorn in a small room.
Yeah, you got to get it out. You got to. You got to air it out. It'll take you. It'll take over you. It will. Burnt popcorn's hideous. In a small room, it's worse. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we got the subject.
they didn't get it.
I don't eat popcorn. That's strange.
She never smelled burnt popcorn.
It's
terrible. In a big house.
I
You never
can't
smelled
remember.
it,
Well, since I don't eat popcorn, I don't think my mom even cooked popcorn in my house. My wife don't even cook popcorn in the house. I don't think I've ever remember a time you've ever cooked popcorn in the house.
You nobody's ever cooked it at your job and burned it in the microwave.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
Another one.
Subject.
Another one.
Another one.
Sister Sarah, she said, she was talking to Jolene.
Okay, let them talk. All right, idolatry. Area of opportunity, unhealthy mastery, control, manipulation, domination. Okay, so this is our area that we can work on. This is an area that we can go into the Torah and say, I need to be reflective all this week on areas of where I'm trying to master and dominate my wife, master and dominate unhealthily my husband, master and dominate unhealthily people on my job, master and dominate unhealthily people and individuals around me. Because now I am taking the position of Elohim. I'm stripping him from his authority. I'm stripping him from his power. I'm stripping him from where he has control and saying, I will be in control of this now, right? I make myself God.
I got it.
Idolatry, right? And we know the answer is submission. So we don't really need to go over this anymore. We got this. But what I want to do is I want to go over some reasons why we should convert, hate, or have a enmity towards this. So that when we go through our week this week and we look at these situations, we have something to remind us of what Father's attitude towards us being controllers in an unhealthy way. if you ever want to work your submission, go someplace with my nephew, where
This nephew.
just go anywhere. That's my only nephew.
That's the only one. Yeah.
Just go anywhere. Just go anywhere. I mean, he will bring out the controller in you, and because he'll either act like he don't know how, or he'll act like, you know, the way he's doing it. Oh, let me give you an example. We're sitting in the theater, and he starts beating this wrapper of candy. I mean, he was just trying to get some chocolate out the bottom of it, and it was shaking the rolls and everything. I mean, 3 or 4 seats over, you're feeling him going like this, and he's making all this noise. I'm like, really, bro? Really? The movie is going. The movie is going in the movie. And he says, what? The chocolate's stuck at the bottom. And he goes right back at it. I just wanted to grab that thing and just throw it right at the screen. Like, no more for you. You're done. That is the controller. I wasn't trying to train him.
No.
Training will say, as Yah said, because I wasn't there. I gotta admit, I wasn't there. Yah comes with a watch this word, a self-control about the situation. Watch the word. Self-control is temperance, not controlling yourself. It's temperance.
Yeah.
He comes with a temperance and he says, just open the package all the way down so you can get to the chocolate.
That's what you would think. He would do.
But listen to my mastery.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab that thing and just throw it.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to worry about the situation no more. All or nothing.
Yeah.
All or nothing.
But see, my control would have been give me the package, and I would have opened it up, and then I would have handed it back to him.
Right,
You know
which is still a little bit unhealthy. Yeah, it's still unhealthy.
It's not teaching him.
It's not training him.
It is training him, because the next time he won't beat it.
No, but you
He'll
train
see
him.
what I had
But you
done,
train him to
and
be
he'll
codependent.
Well, it's still training.
Well, you train him
How
to
do
be
you know you would have
dependent.
did that?
Well, he would have, because he would have remembered. I don't think it's necessarily unhealthy. It keeps him from beating it.
Everybody's
I'm not
That's
talking in the
mothering.
movie.
Just give it
Huh?
to
That's
you.
That's right.
That's
I'm
what it
keeping
is.
it from beating it. I'm not talking in the movie. I'm not disturbing other people.
That's what
Okay. And then later we can, talk about it when we
Okay.
get out the
As
movie.
long as you talk about it
I
later.
don't think it's unhealthy.
As long as you talk about it later.
Yeah,
As long
we'll
as there
talk
is
about
some
it later.
training involved.
Absolutely.
But just taking over and saying, I'm gonna handle the situation for you because you have became too much for you. I'm gonna handle the situation for you.
No.
That's not helping.
No.
I think it's a teaching situation that he should have already surpassed.
And so now watch. But this is
No, that's true.
this
He's
is
old
but still
enough
this is
to
the
know.
this is still the controlling spirit.
Yes.
Because
Okay, I
now
understand.
because you're not on my level, because you're not where I'm at, you don't see the way I see it. You're wrong.
You're an assuming.
And so it's still unhealthy.
Yeah.
And so it challenges us in all areas. If we are supposed to be the walking Torah, we're supposed to be a walking teaching and instruction. And then when you have people that you're just like, oh, they're not getting what I'm teaching. Because I work with people who don't even come from the same culture. They don't speak my same language.
Oh.
I know. And so Father has put me in a great place to teach me how to teach the unteachable.
To humble you.
Oh, yeah. It's very humbling.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have people that you say, hey, manager. So like you have this tier system that the world sets up. We have like the peons. I'm a peon. You have like your supervisors. Then you have like the higher ups.
Yeah.
I agree with the higher ups in their methods of how they want the company ran. The people in the middle, they don't care. And so I'm telling the other peons who work with me, who I'm a peon, right? And I'm telling them, hey, this is how the managers want it. And they won't listen. And so you go to the middle ups and they say, hey, this is how so-and-so ain't doing the way it's supposed to be doing it. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. This is getting done. That's not what the manager wanted. Yeshua is into the process just as much as he's into the goal. He wants the profit, but he also wants the process. He wants to see the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lawful.
We must strive lawful.
Yeah. He wants to see the process. Sorry. Here we go. Here's some motivation for you during the week. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 7 says, neither be idolaters.
10 what?
10:7. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 7. Neither be idolaters, as some of them were. I would just go through tons and tons of scriptures. I mean, Ephesians 5:5 says, "Don't even think idolaters is going to go into the kingdom of heaven." You better control your controlling spirit. As my wise brother would say, if you think you have a controlling spirit, stop. Stop. Don't do that. Keep it simple, right? Don't do that. This one might be one too. Okay. Oh boy.
Oh, speaking of controlling.
Right, that manipulation right there. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave that stuff alone. But you guys get the idea. We got self-control, which is actually temperance, and it's not will control, and it's not control of other people's will. One more time. Self-control, which is temperance. All right. If you have unhealthy self-control, you think that it's will control. I'm gonna control my will. I'm not gonna, right? And then you'll try to control others people's will. So I need to submit to Ruach. And my goal is not to get them to submit to me, but to also get them to submit to Ruach. All right, what's some motivations we got?
You said self-control is not temperance?
Self-control is temperance, but unhealthy self-control tells you to start controlling your will. And then once you start trying to control your will, guess who else will you're gonna start trying to control? Other people's will. There's no choice but to produce itself. Yeah, so it's a good season. It's a good season. What other examples we got for some motivation to make it through this week when I'm challenged with mastery through manipulation and domination? What's the Father's heart? I mean, what's some good motivation? Help me out there, Moreh. What do you got?
I think just the idea of having this thought process in the forefront of your mind helps you to recognize it when it's happening, like if you're thinking about it. You know what I mean? Whenever you may have been doing things where you're overly trying to control a situation or even individuals, where because you're not thinking about it like that, you're at work. You just want the work to get done. But then when you sit back and think about what it actually is, whatever it control is. So I'm saying just the idea of recalling the idea of this need to have control of
idolatry,
areas, and it actually being that. I think just the idea of thinking about it is a memory. You know, that's a memory.
Just let it go, huh?
So you start to recognize because you're aware. Having that, you're aware. You're going to see things that you wouldn't normally see.
Right.
Okay, I wasn't gonna go there, but he brought it up.
Was very true.
You know, we have the word reverence. We're supposed to be in awe of the Father, respect, right? Unhealthy reverence is so a healthy reverence will be fear that causes obedience. That's healthy reverence, fear that causes obedience. So because of my respect and my fear for Yahweh, my spirit causes me to keep His commandments. Unhealthy fear is unhealthy reverence will be fear that causes control. I know my wife can't live without me, so to control her, I will always threaten. I will leave tomorrow.
I'd open a door.
Today?
She don't know.
Mother, you would not open the door.
You ready?
You don't know what you be missing.
But that's what people do.
Yes.
I wouldn't do that.
Ultimatums. Fear. What are the motivations we got to keep that control in check? Schmuck?
Don't say anything.
Don't say anything. So
Don't say
every
anything.
word I say out my mouth is trying to control you. Watch that one.
Don't say anything, huh?
I mean, I consider it like biting the tongue. You know what I mean? So when I say don't say anything, when you can say something, just don't if you know it's not healthy. You know?
But we have to get to a place where we know it's not. And I think that's what the brother was saying about it being aware and in the forefront of your mind. And so kudos for having this conversation because it's just like opening up a whole lot of stuff for me. I mean, I already know, right? But we bring it in this kind of light, it does a whole nother thing. So now like at work even, I could think about, okay, I don't have to get pissy because these people ain't doing right. Really, you know, and they're taking our money, you know, because we get paid on money, you know. And so when you take some money and then give me the call, you give me the work and you take the money. I'm like, what was that just happened? They took the money and gave me the work? Oh no. Why did that happen? And so I'm like, I don't have no understanding. You know what I mean? And so because I don't, what happens? I start getting control. I get controlling.
Controlling, yeah.
Okay, because like now, oh no, I'm taking away their money. Nope. I'm doing the work. I'm getting the money.
I mean,
That's control.
There's so many ways that could go wrong because I'm trying to elevate myself as Elohim. I now take the hand of vengeance away from Elohim.
Right.
I take the hand of vengeance away from Elohim. I use my own hand, like you idiot. No, that's not where he's trying to get us to go.
It's not.
That's not where he's trying to get us to go.
Right.
You want him to be allowed to do what he has to do.
Yeah.
Why can't so you're Bob is there saying, why can't I work in your life? Why won't you allow me to step in? And it challenges me. I mean, it challenges me.
Yeah, it's me too.
It's very challenging.
Yeah. So I like your point about biting the tongue because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back and say nothing. Okay.
Because it takes a few times to bite the tongue
It
to
does.
get used to how to react
Mhm.
in certain situations when you normally act how you should.
Who cares? Yeah, I'm going to just have that honestly.
Just that you reap what you sow. If you try to control, you will be controlled.
Yeah.
So if I was a boxer in a ring and someone said something to me and I got all emotional,
Yeah.
it's the guy's trying to get me emotional. That's why guys talk trash in the back.
Get you off your balance.
They try to control you because
Get
you
off
get out,
balance.
you try to control the situation,
Yeah.
you get all emotional with it. Now you're being controlled in the
Yeah.
situation. You will reap what you sow.
Yeah.
You'll be controlled.
Yeah.
It won't be by
I can see that.
you know,
You get
You'll
on
be
balance
gone.
and boom, you're gone.
That carnal mind, that is his goal. The carnal mind, his goal is to get you at a place where he control you.
So someone said trying to control your own will. That's evil.
Trying to control your own what?
You try your own will.
Oh, your own will.
Yeah.
And also, someone else said sometimes we get carried away. Say, offering advice, I have pulled back and then offered, or you can do something else instead, as if there is another way.
Right. I mean,
Oh yeah.
being that going from that teacher line and stepping over to that control line is a very thin line.
Thin line, yeah.
It's a very thin line.
Very
you know. So let me give you the. I'm gonna turn it over to Moreh, and he's gonna break this bad boy down for you because he got to show y'all something. And when y'all see this, y'all can go get out of here. So we're gonna do the word shlita. That right for a shepherd's staff?
Yeah.
I'm not the Hebrew word picture dude.
Right?
What's it mean?
Okay, so the sheen is gonna be tightness, pressure, pressure, spike. The lamed. I'm writing this down. The lamed is leading to to lead, teach,
Baby.
correction.
Baby bigger than her.
Of course, the mark. Trying to get them to go where you want them to go, probably, right?
Oh, that's a tech, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
see what
No,
you
that's
did, you
the
get your hand.
top, right?
Oh, well, the top is
So that's supposed to. That's right.
You don't have to.
It's a tech?
I thought that was the top.
Okay.
What's the
You're
word?
fine. You're big. You're getting to be a big girl.
Is it a tet or a top?
Baby.
It's a tet, it's a mark.
That's the right symbol.
Okay, that's the right symbol.
Oh,
It's
But
a
I
tet.
can't use the tet in the top.
Yeah, it's a tet.
That's a tet. Always been a tet is a basket.
It's a basket. So it's a basket.
No, the basket is tet.
Is it a tet or a top?
Okay, tet is the basket.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not the basket. It's the mark.
Okay.
No, that's the right symbol.
Well, now we can't go away. It's either it's a tet or a top.
Okay, then it's a top.
If it's a top, it's just not the right symbol.
What?
Right.
That's the right symbol.
Well, you put a circle around it.
Okay, it needs a circle around it.
Well, it's a tet.
Oh, that's a
So
tet.
I'm not gonna go back and forth.
That's a tet. Okay,
If that's the right symbol.
that's the right
it's a
symbol.
tet,
It's a tet.
which is a basket.
Oh, I got the paper right here. I'm sorry.
No, you still
If you say that's the right symbol, then
That's the right symbol.
And
Gracious.
it's a basket. It's a container. It contains.
That's not the mark.
Just look the word up.
So let's look it up. 7980.
Yeah.
Kazak, you got me?
Daddy,
7980.
You want the ancient one or the normal?
Is it a tet or a top?
Is it an X with a circle around it?
It is the X with a circle around it.
Thank you.
Okay, so that is a tet.
That's a tet.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so that's the basket. That's the thing that contains. Right, which is the tet. So what we looking at here? So what was the word? What was the word?
Mastery.
Okay, so yeah, so I guess if I'm pressuring tightness, a tight leading into a container or something that surrounds, you can see all of those things, right? The pressure, we talking about something that's a master ring, like verbing, turning Lord into lording, we're turning master into master ring. You can see that if we have this idea of pressure and tightness, something that clamps down, that leads you, or it's bringing correction and confinements, right? In the container, there confines. So if we're talking about it from a perspective as far of what Yahweh would do, right? He does have boundaries that lead you. He moves you in a direction, and there are boundaries to it. But now we try to take that over, right? I mean, to me, I feel like when you think about the idea of control, and couple that with idolatry, it makes it so heavy. It makes it so weighty. You know, when you think about the idea of taking away the control that Yahweh possesses, like it's his. Like,
Yes. And then we
he
say, no,
got a tight control on it.
and we say, no, it's mine.
Yeah. So it's faithlessness. Can't without faith, it's impossible to please Yahweh.
Hence,
So
hence the question.
Yeah.
Can I trust without being in control? The original statement.
right, back to the original statement. I think that you must. You must. One thing can have nothing to do with it. If I say that I'm going to trust you, but then I got to sit up here and tell you what to do for me in the first place, it doesn't make any sense, right?
Can we look at the noun on this one?
Yeah.
The noun on this is a place of protection from projectiles. So listen, when I decide to give you unhealthy control as a man, when I decide, because that's the masculine, when I decide as a man to use unhealthy shlita, I'm taking away that cover.
Did you say as a man to give the woman unhealthy control, or you're
As a man to offer a woman unhealthy control, unhealthy mastery, instead of actually protecting her, I'm actually removing the protection because it's designed to be a protector. As her master, I'm a good master, and as the master that I offer, I'm protecting her, I'm keeping her. She don't have to worry about, she don't have to fear, she don't have to all that stuff. But then I introduce her to fear. I introduce her to insecurities.
Right.
I can introduce her to worries. And so now I have removed the protection.
Wow.
and then she in return feels like she has to control.
Well, if I sow
Preaching right now.
control, if I sow control, what should a woman produce? Control.
Right.
And now this cycle, just keeps going and going and going. So someone got to submit.
Wow.
Well, and then it can go even deeper because if a woman is carrying over from, if she was controlled by someone else, and then is carrying that over and then responds because she fears that you might control her. And that's a whole.
Or what if I'm an individual who, because I've been controlled, now I must be controlled, but we talking about by individuals instead of the Most High. I must be controlled.
That's an ugly place. That's an ugly place, and that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying before. I'm not saying that that's what you was thinking, but when you step into that role of saying, "Give it to me, I'll take over, and I'll show you how to do it."
Yeah, it wasn't.
Now I'm allowing you to control me.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to that's my place of nourishment. That's my place of nurturing. I feel healthy when someone else is in control. I can take my hands off and I don't have the responsibility anymore. I don't have to worry about it because guess what? You're in control. It's an unhealthy submission.
Right. Yeah, if that was the place to be. But you always got to go backwards. You know what I mean? You always got to go back and have that teaching moment. You always do. Yeah. That's the correction piece. Yeah. Even with men. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you're trying to help me grow or get to a place, you got to be able to teach me. You got, correct me, yes, but go back and teach me what happened.
Rose, I'm doing the repeat.
Right, I'm gonna do it again. Yeah. So the contentious, when I started thinking about that contentious piece, so that's why she's contentious. Possibly because that she's had this control in her life, and now she's combative. She's against it. You know what I mean? No control, nobody control me. You know what I mean? And so now she's the opposite of really what she should be, even to the Most High. You know what I mean? Because she's had too much of it in an unhealthy way. And
what about the man who don't feel like a man unless he has women worshiping
He's
him?
not submitted to the Most High either.
Right. He is the idol. He is the image. Yeah. I want all women to worship.
He's not submitted.
What with that you said? What about the man that hasn't been taught how to be a man? Okay. And you get involved in a marriage or life, and he doesn't really know what his responsibilities, what his duties are. How do you work with that? What do you do with him if you or her want to control him or make suggestions or something like that? What do you do with that?
That's what I'm saying. We're talking about going right back to the core of the commandments, transformation. Right. Are you submitted to Yud Vav?
Yeah, that's the piece.
That is the huge
Which goes
piece.
back to Israel coming out of Egypt. They were being controlled by Pharaoh. They came out. They didn't want to submit to.
They wanted to go back and be controlled by Pharaoh.
They were going around.
Yeah, they want to go back
for the not submitting to Yah because they didn't want to submit anymore because they just came out of submission.
Right.
They were being enslaved. They don't want to be enslaved again. There's a fear and bitterness.
So what does a woman do?
Someone's asking about, can you explain real quick about controlling one's own will again?
Yeah, when we're talking about self-control, unhealthy self-control is true. Healthy self-control is temperance. All right. Unhealthy self-control is when we say, I will control myself, saying, I'm not going to smoke the cigarette. I'm not going to smoke the cigarette. I'm not going to smoke the cigarette. And so I'm trying to get me to do what my propensity wants to do. So I'm trying to control my will. Now watch, Yeshua says in Matthew chapter 7, maybe, fact check me. He said, how can one take over the house, lest he first bind the strong man?
Oh,
Right?
okay.
And so I can't get me to do what I'm supposed to do. I can't get my temple to do what it's supposed to do. I can't get my body to do what it's supposed to do. I have to first bind that strong man. But you can't bind Hasatan with Hasatan. You're trying to will control. That's will control. That's unhealthy self-control. It's will worship, right?
I think outside of Yeshua,
Outside of
Yeshua, you're dealing with will control.
will control. That's all
These
it
people
is.
sitting over saying that they're Israelites,
Because I can't do
and their whole walk, everything about it is contrary to the Most High. That's somebody who came to some realization. I am somebody, so now I'm going to do these things. Meanwhile, they never had they were never introduced properly to their master.
Yeah,
Right?
Since you brought it up, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but since you brought it up,
Will control.
here we go. I have this in my notes. Exodus chapter 20, verse 4 through 6 talks about idolatry going to the next level, right? He said, okay, first of all, I don't want no sovereign against me. Second of all, don't make an image that we're to worship, right?
Okay.
So are you trying to bring people into Negroid self-awareness that their image is the image of Christ?
Negroid.
Negroid. You know, black awareness. You know, because you black, you Israel. Because you black, you Christ. Right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so, am I working and serving an image, or am I working and serving the Most High, the Father of spirits? Am I bringing in souls, or am I bringing in more blacks? Do you? I mean, let's look at it. Are you trying to bring in an image, or are you trying to bring in souls? It's idolatry.
Yeah.
That's a deep one.
All by yourself.
Very deep.
That's why I let it off.
Preach!
I let it off, baby.
No, go ahead, preach
I let it off. Yeah, let's pray. Wrap this up. I can't take no more.
You're done?
I got a lot of work to do with myself.
You and me go, well, so we can do this more next week because we need more of this.
Well, the trust actually goes into conflict,
Okay.
you know, and now you
Back
see
to
the
our model.
conflict.
Back to our model.
Yeah, because you see where the trust is, and you see where it's breaking down, because someone wants to control everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a breaking down right there. So the next conflict deals with our conflict within and the conflict externally.
Yeah.
Because within me, I'm having this conflict that says, guess what? I gotta control it. The conflict says, I gotta go over there and take the paintbrush from, my nephew, because I don't trust it, like we have our thing, right? We have our own little I think was of course. Anna Kendrick called it psychopath tendencies. Like some people they have this little one thing that they do that they're like, oh yeah, he's crazy. Like I have to have my glasses a certain way, or I gotta have And my thing is like, I like a nice edge on the paint job. And so if I saw someone up, painting, and they're like, bloop, bloop, and then flopping it on the ceiling, I'm just like, oh, right? It's don't work you. If you was in the kitchen, and I don't know how to crack an egg, and you see me cracking eggs, like, you be like, oh my god.
It's okay, Ocean. I got you. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
That's how you crack eggs.
Nobody cracks eggs like that. You should take the egg away from him. Seriously, they crack egg
Just clean up the kids and that.
Right?
Mother would show him the door.
I sure would.
Oh,
Didn't know that.
right. Mother last week, her thing was you had to have a certain spoon for the chili. I drove her crazy. I gotta have a. We gave her a spoon. It was like the size of a plastic spoon. And go ahead, use that spoon. We can't scoop chili with that spoon. You better scoop. If I gave you a knife, you better scoop your chili with that knife.
Right.
Then I said, well, do you have a cup?
Come on.
Just pick it up and be done.
But it's so sobering because I'm like, even driving here today, we're sitting here waiting in the van for the Dublins. And I'm just like, I'm like sitting here saying to myself,
I knew somebody would bring that.
well, I did not. I'm just saying where the environment was.
Right.
And I was saying, you can't control everything.
No. I was telling myself that.
I said, where
You can't control everything. My furnace went out this morning. You can't control everything.
You can't. You just have to relax.
That's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
You have to
That
relax.
happens.
Chill out. It causes you to be an overload.
But watch this. This is the piece I hated the most. Stop putting me in a position where you want me to control everything.
Ooh, you.
Oh, now.
Right?
Once you make that.
They want me to control everything. Hosea, fix the furnace. Hosea, make them show up. Hosea, do this.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't control everything.
Oh.
You know, and I know the women, I don't know the wives want men to control everything. You know, golly. Sorry. Let us pray.
That was funny.
That was.
Let us pray. That's the only thing we can do. The only thing we can do. Father, we need help.
I'm sounding like crazy.
What it sounds like.
Your night was crazy.
Our night was crazy.
Our morning was crazy.
Oh my God.
You can't control everything. There's just so many examples of this week of how it's just challenged over and over and over. Just constantly just, you better submit. I'm like, but this don't make no sense. There's no reason why you would put me through this. Like, it makes no sense. But what did Job say? Like, are you gonna trust me even when it don't make sense? It makes no logical sense.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it hurts.
It's good.
All right, let's pray. Father, I thank you for your anointing. Thank you for your power. Thank you for your Shabbat. I thank you for all the controllers and the people who are suffering from trying to control situations. Father, we just ask for your anointing, your spirit that breaks the yoke. We need more trust in you. Well, give us the spirit of submission. Give us the spirit to breathe, relax, and allow us to flow and function the way you want us to flow and function to bring in the profit and the harvest that you have called us to bring in. Oh, we need your help so much this week. We need your help in every area of life. And as we are tested and tried, and we want to say thank you for the test. Thank you for the trials. Thank you for the awakening, the ability to see in my eyes, to see in my heart, to feel in my heart when that spirit of unhealthy control comes upon me. When that spirit of idolatry says, make yourself God, comes upon me. Oh, we just actually just bind up Hasatan in our lives, bind up Hasatan in our carnal mind, bind up Hasatan in our hearts. Cleanse our hearts, give us a new heart. Take away this stony heart. Cleanse us from our idolatries of ourselves, trying to make ourselves God and the God of every situation, the God of everyone's life, the master of everyone's life. Give us a healthy reverence. Have your way in my life. I give it back to you. I place you back on the throne. I apologize that I have removed you from the throne and tried to come into the situation of people's lives. I apologize that I've tried to handle my own situation, resolve my own problems. Father, I apologize that I didn't seek you in prayer when the problems were going out. Father, I apologize I didn't cry out to you when I didn't understand. Father, I apologize that I try to control my wife. Father, I apologize I try to control my husband. Father, I apologize I try to control my job situations. Father, I apologize that I try to control my own way, my own being. Father, I know that you said to take up my stake and follow you, the sacrifice to give up my own life. Father, I apologize that I try to control my bills. I apologize that I try to make more hours and work more hours to control my bills. Father, I apologize I didn't trust your will. I apologize that I didn't trust your deliverance when I needed healing. Father, I apologize that I try to step out of the ram of obedience.
Oh, thank you, Abby.
I apologize. I try to control my being. Have your way in our lives. Someone just got to break through. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Thank you.
Great.